It's my pleasure to introduce Unite in the Fight today. In keeping with the theme of doing great things that extend beyond the walls of this hospital, we'll be introducing a project that we call Crossmatch a little bit later on, but we'll try to keep it brief. So today, I like to do agendas. We're going to be talking about us, talking about what we did and what we hope to do, hopefully with the help of the NEXTGen committee. So skipping that. Just some basics. We were founded essentially this time last year. As of last week, we're about 40 plus young professionals from fields of medicine, law, consulting, engineering, et cetera, who all have one common belief that doing well personally is not as important as doing good for others. And so essentially how we started is by brainstorming about events like the Ride to Conquer Cancer and Weekend to End Women's Cancers. We said to ourselves, these are great things, but we're young professionals just starting off. There's a bunch of hurdles that we have to take over before we actually do them. And so in addition to the minimum amounts that you have to raise, which are very obvious, there's that physical and mental challenge that most people don't take into account, and things that we think about every single day as young professionals trying to balance our careers and extracurriculars, as we well know, is time is precious. And so our goal at Unite in the Fight is to kind of tilt that scale and make that incline seem not as steep as it really is. So why does it work? Essentially, one word: accountability. We're accountable to one another. Our goals are threefold, and one of them is by organizing training sessions internally. We motivate one another to show up to these events basically every Sunday morning so that we can motivate one another to get to that finish line. We are accountable to ourselves, so this is a little timer I made with the goal of doing a half marathon next year. We don't just want to be good exercisers. It's not great to say that I'm great on a treadmill. We want to say, I'm planning on doing this event. I want to be a triathlete. I want to be a marathoner. I want to be somebody who's good at a sport and actually achieves goals by doing them. And so one of the components of joining Unite in the Fight is that you actually have to make a goal of doing these events, and not just doing that, but also publicizing it. And so by telling friends and families, we've shown to ourselves that you'll push yourself to actually go and reach that finish line sooner. So by guilting yourself, it actually works. And most importantly, we actually feel a very strong social responsibility. So in addition to just helping ourselves at the beginning of our careers, we feel that helping others is really more important. And so some of the things that we've done so far, I'll be talking about them more in depth, but we've done the Ride to Conquer Cancer, we've done the Weekend to End Women's Cancers. We're very strong believers in when you do something athletic, there should be a fundraising undertone to it. And of course, we organize internal training sessions. So we do spinning sessions, we've had some yoga sessions, and some bikes on the canal. And so how it works essentially is by forming this one goal. We've said to ourselves from the onset, we're going to track everything that we do so that we actually feel that we've accomplished something at the end, but also feel that while we're doing it, we can gain this momentum. And so we've called Unite something to be our goal. It represents the kilometers that we reach through doing these organized events, and also the amount that we raise while doing them. And so we set this arbitrary goal, but a very meaningful goal to us, of 171,000 Unites to reach. It represents 171,000 fights, which is actually the amount of people diagnosed with cancer in Canada every single year. So dividing it into three different components, Unite in the Fight was founded on exercise, socialize, and publicize. We exercise, we form these groups, we do organized races, we organize internal training sessions, and we do other charitable events. We socialize. Everybody who joins Unite in the Fight actually has a profile on our website where they're able to publicize their own personal goals and to motivate one another to achieve their own. And of course we publicize. As you guys very well know, publicizing yourself is really the most important part, unfortunately, of these types of fundraising campaigns. And so we have a blog where we publish information on members ourselves. We have a health and nutrition blogger, Lauren. Hi. And we have people blogging about the newest technologies in cancer research and the great things that other